Hello and welcome back to All Things the Podcast after our mid-season break. Find out why I'm even more orange than usual, find out why Amazon sellers across the pond are all kicking off, and find out whether frog JPEGs are back on the market. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Right, welcome back to All Things the Podcast. We've missed a week. Where have we been? So apologies, I've had some complaints from some of our regular listeners. Both of them, in fact. That's my mum and your mum, I think.
I think so.
But yeah, I've spent a week in Florida. That's why I don't need the flattering orange lighting, even though we've got it up anyway. But yeah, I've been basically eating and drinking copious amounts, and and I'm pretty jet lagged now. So you guys have basically got to try and keep me awake for the next 45 minutes or so. So good luck.
Yeah, it should be easy.
You're loaded up on the Red Bulls?
Yes, absolutely. Got my my textbook Red Bull and Diet Coke.
Sponsored?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bit of product placement. But yeah, so it's now Friday. It's weird recording on a Friday. Usually we have our Wednesday slot, don't we?
Yes, I'm ready for the weekend. I'm ready to go to the casino, play a bit of poker.
Oh, yeah. No, CJB messaged me because obviously the spring deals was this week. And he was like, oh, I'm going to stay up and source some deals. He was like, oh, I'm not used to being up at this time now because Gage has got me back into poker.
For those that don't know, CJB used to be a poker pro. And he actually was nice enough to spend like 3 hours the other day coaching me on how to play poker, which is very nice of him. So thank you, Chris, if you're listening. Nice.
Well, we definitely need to get him on the podcast because we've had him on in ATA, our Amazon group, a couple of times, and lovely guy, 2 million plus, 3 million now. He's recently.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was 4.
He's got his own revenue group in ATA, doesn't he?
Yeah, he is crazy, and the way he does things is like really different to the way like me, Harry, or Ben does things. Like we still all do things slightly differently, but he is just on the other spectrum of like lower priced items, buying like 3 months supply. Won't give it away too much, but he talks about it in the ATA Q&A. So if you're in the group, check it out. It's the best one, I think.
And we need to arrange a time with him for another Q&A and hopefully get him in for the podcast as well.
Yes.
But yeah, so I've put on almost a stone in a week, which I'm pretty proud of. It started to drop off. Most of it was water weight, but basically I'm wearing this zip up top because if I unzip this, basically I'm going to have a hernia. And, my guts are just going to spill out everywhere. But everything in America is just so addictive because there's a bunch of additives and shit in their food that they put into it. I'm pretty sure a lot of it's illegal in Europe, but like there's these cheese ball things that that you get from Walmart. They're called UTZ cheese balls. Good name, but yeah, they come in like a massive like barrel thing like this, and it's just impossible to like have one or two. It's either you have to have 0 or you have 100 because they're like crack. And like that, I've got their ingredients list up here. There's all sorts of shit in them. It's like artificial colors, yellow number 6 and yellow number 5. It's like God knows what's in there.
Number 6 just wasn't enough.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Autolyzed yeast extract, natural and artificial flavors, which literally could be anything.
Both.
But yeah, honestly, these things are absolutely crazy. So this isn't actually tan. This is just my skin starting to turn orange from the cheese balls.
The sweat. I have a question related to that, which is not really a funny one, but a question that I'm actually interested in is you go to America, you can get all these illegal additives and eat your gallon of cheese balls. It's freedom, right? Whereas we live somewhere where you can't get your gallon of cheese balls with 11 different yellow number 6s, right? But would you rather live like here where you have less freedom, but it's mainly for the betterment of us? Or do you think that we should be able to choose whether we want cheese ball number 6?
That's a really good question. I mean, I think, freedom of choice and freedom of everything is so important. But I think when these things are clearly harmful, it's like, should crack be, should everyone just be able to get crack even though it's clearly detriment to your health? It's like, I think Yeah, I mean, I'm speaking from someone who definitely is like I just binge everything. Like, but some people, I basically have no self control when it comes to like junk food in my house. So that's why I'll never keep crisps or biscuits or anything in there, because if I have a pack of biscuits there, I won't be able to have just one or two. The whole pack
I'm the
will go.
exact same.
And yeah, so and the issue I had in Florida, because yeah, it was I was one of 13 guys staying in the same house, and we all put money into this kitty. Walmart at the end of this road, so some guys would just take some money out of the kitty, go, oh yeah, I brought back like 20 Krispy Kremes, and then they're just like sat on the fucking counter like that, and then there's me sat there like sweating, like
Yeah.
gotta try and resist, but yeah, I just basically have no self control. But I think, yeah, freedom to do whatever you want is a good thing, but maybe not for people who have no self control.
Yeah, exactly.
No, yeah, I agree completely. Like, America is just everything on steroids. Honestly, you do a week or two and you feel sick after the 2 weeks, and you come back and it's like, it's nice to actually eat something that isn't like injected with all sorts of
Yeah,
chemicals.
well, I've gone back. I went out to a pub last night and didn't even want a beer, which is like probably the first time in my life that's happened. My body needs like some sort of detox. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is crazy, but I do love it. The weather was brilliant. Played a couple of football games out there in like 25, 30-degree heat, which was
In between
which
the
was
beers.
in between the beers, yeah. So I'd be even fatter now if I hadn't done that. But yeah, I do really like it. It's a long way to travel though, but it's because yeah, I think if you're gonna, well, for me anyway, probably would rather go out for a couple of weeks, because I'm sort of just about adjusted to the time zone, and then it was time to come back, and
Yeah.
it's only 4 hours, but I had a terrible flight back. I had like the worst of both worlds. I had obese woman sat next to me and screaming child behind me.
Oh,
Oh, the worst.
And the flight from where was it? Orlando back to Gatwick. It's so UK time. It's like midnight to about 7:30 a.m. So
Yeah.
the idea is you're meant to sleep during the flight and then you're back on UK time. But I got about half hour sleep because of the obstacles, shall we say, in the way. So yeah,
I
it's
can't
still
sleep
adjusting
on
now.
planes. Even I've been in upper class, and the beds, even then, it's just like you just can't sleep. Well, personally, anyway. I actually, admire people who can get on a plane, put their head back, and just go to sleep for 8 hours.
I think drugs help. My mum has.
This is health advice.
Yeah. My mum has trouble sleeping, so she actually got prescribed. Bill Cosby.
Mm.
You know how he raped a bunch of women allegedly. I don't know. Did
I
he get
didn't
guilty
actually
for
know
that?
that.
I'm not sure. Yeah, he did. I would think allegedly. Don't want to get sued or anything. Because I actually don't think he got prosecuted. Well, he did. He got taken to court. Whatever. Anyway, what I'm trying.
Stop panicking, Gage.
Where I'm trying to go with this is my mum has the same pills that he used to date rape these women allegedly, and she gives them to me when I go on a plane.
Mm.
We call it a Crosby, right? You take it, you're out like a fucking light. Like,
Really?
yeah, 20 minutes, you'll be like, oh, this isn't working. And then suddenly, like, everything will go a bit dizzy and fuzzy. And then you just fall asleep and you just wake up and you're there.
Mm.
It is insane.
God.
One time I saw my girlfriend take them on the plane and mine was still kind of kicking in. She was asleep and her hands went out in front of her and her fingers started wiggling. And she's just fast asleep.
So some of the guys I was away with were talking about this actually. So because basically none of us got to sleep on the flight. There is a lesson to this story, and that is don't take your sleeping pill before the plane's taken off. Because this guy took a sleeping pill, like he was like, right, I'm gonna wait till I'm on the plane. Took the pill, it like started knocking him out, and then there was like a problem with the engine or something.
No.
So they were just doing the whole taxi thing, and then they had to go back, and everyone had to get off the plane. But of course, he'd taken this pill, so he was like, his body was shutting down. So yeah, he was in some serious trouble. So there's time and a place to do drugs, kids.
Yeah. That's actually an episode of Modern Family. That exact scene
Is it?
you're describing. Yeah. Is your friend Cameron Mitchell from Modern Family?
No, but maybe he just stole the story from that to
Yeah.
try and look cool.
Yeah, maybe. So how was steak and blowjob day?
I've been
with all your
waiting
mates?
2 weeks to ask this.
Yeah, so I spent it. I was in my happy place, surrounded by 12 other guys.
Yep.
But yeah, I did have it was a 24-ounce porterhouse steak
Oh.
from a place called Manny's, which was very
When
good.
you said 24 ounce, I didn't know where that was going then.
Yeah, no sausages in this one, but yeah, it was a hell of a lot. It was, but I think it's basically a T-bone steak. But yeah, like in America, they don't pronounce the T's in the middle of words, do they? So I said porterhouse, and they were like, "What?" And it's like, "Oh, porterhouse."
Yeah.
As I when I was in the IT world, it's like have you heard of the company NetApp?
No.
Well, yes, NetApp, and if you speak to anyone from America, it's like, well, who's NetApp? We're NetApp. It's like just replace a T with a D. But yeah, it was it was good. There was obviously what goes in Florida stays in Florida. So
What restaurants did you go to?
so there's a place called Manny's, which is like a steakhouse. So yeah, had the full rack of ribs there, the 24-ounce porterhouse, and yeah, we went there 2 or 3 times actually, and then we went to a fight and an ice hockey game broke out, which was weird. But no, we went to see the.
At first, I was thinking that's the jet lag, and I just realised it's not a bad
No,
jokes.
that's just a dad
It
joke.
was a very good joke.
but yeah, it was the ice hockey game was really fun actually. So it's like, as with everything in America, like everything is just blown out of proportion, and it's like it's just becomes a parody of itself kind of thing. So they have sporting events over there. They have like Kiss Cam, where like they'll put up on the big screen like a couple, and it's kiss on the camera. Well, they had that, which we're sort of expecting. They also had one of the mascots, which I think was a bee, and it just had like a pie, and it would just like smash it into someone's face. That's not expecting
I love
it.
Americans, man.
And the weirdest one was they had Simba Cam, where basically that they played Lion King music and then zoom in on people with their children, and then they just like lift it up like that.
That's unreal.
And it was absolutely unreal. It's like, yeah, go around like finding people with kids, and like I looked to my right, and there was just some guy thrusting his 2-year-old kid into the air who was probably asleep.
That's actually really funny.
It was hilarious. Yeah, and you've got Circle of Life going on in the background.
Would you rather watch your Sunday league game or be at that ice hockey game? What's more enjoyable?
I would always rather play than watch anything. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, the ice hockey game itself was pretty boring. I didn't really enjoy that much, but it was the stuff like in between the periods, like all the weird, all the weird American shit that was enjoyable.
They just couldn't do that in the UK. Like a fight cam, like if that happened in a Premier League game, you just have a mass brawl between supporters.
Yeah. I mean, ice hockey was fun. Like it was, I think it finished 6-2, so which is apparently a high score for an ice hockey game. But didn't have a clue what was going on for a lot of it. A few years ago when I went to a basketball game, that was pretty good. I probably enjoyed that more. And the other time went to a Major League Soccer game, which was like genuinely, I think my Sunday league is a higher standard than that. Is pretty poor. Like they've got amazing facilities, like the grounds are better than most Premier League grounds, but yeah, then you've got some terrible footballers playing. So it's really not good standard. But anyway,
I watched this video where this guy spent $6,000 on 4 courtside women NBA tickets, and then he went in his pajamas and then pretended to be asleep across the 3 seats while they were playing, and he got banned. Yeah, he got banned and kicked out. But he did pay $6,000 for the seat. I feel like if you pay $6,000 for 3 seats for yourself, like you should be able to fall asleep.
Yeah. Well, he probably made more than that in publicity. Back, so
yeah.
Well, there was a cool. Have you heard of the film called Smile, which came out a couple of years ago? I think it was like a horror thing with a like creepy smile, and they basically paid people to go to American sports events in prominent seats and just do the creepy smile thing, so they get on camera, and it was like a really cool little marketing campaign, I thought.
So I guess a little bit about Amazon, because we gotta fit it in somewhere.
Do we have to?
It's just about the American placement fees.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, now in American Amazon, you have to pay so that your shipments don't get split up into a million different centers. And even if you have them just to like 1 or 2 centers, you still have to pay. there's still a fee. I was under the impression it was going to be free, like if you got it split up. But yeah, even if you split up, you still have to pay. So yeah, people are up in arms about it. And like doing a shipment, I had a 120 unit shipment. My placement fees were like $56.
Oh yeah, that is quite a lot.
Yes, yeah.
That is a lot indeed.
And to think, 1 month ago, I was paying nothing. And now I'm paying $56. So essentially 50p a unit. When before it was 0. So I think people thought it wasn't going to be that big of a deal. Like some people were panicking a little bit. But now I see, because I'm like on the US Amazon side of Twitter, people are like panicking about it. And people are actually like quitting because of it.
I can't see that becoming a thing in the UK because, like, between states, like moving between state and state, that's huge. Like,
yeah.
But moving from, Manchester to Birmingham, it's a couple of hours in the car. Like, yeah, I can't see it really becoming a thing over here.
Yeah, I think most places in the UK can still deliver next day, regardless of where the stock is. Obviously, they do. Like, yeah, if you're based in London, then you're likely to see a seller whose stock is in London on the buy box. But yeah, even if it's up north somewhere, usually they can do it. Whereas, yeah, in America, like I think like Texas is bigger than the whole of the UK, isn't it, or something?
Yeah.
So and that's
I think they've got
like
like 8 states that are bigger than the UK, which is
ridiculous,
mental.
Isn't it? Yeah. So hopefully, I mean, but most things that come, but usually any changes that happen on Amazon USA give it a sort of 4 to 6 months and they come into the UK. But hopefully this isn't just a way of them sort of stealthily increasing the fees even more.
I was even wondering if they're going to sack it for the US because of how much kind of uproar has been attached to it and loads of people saying that they're going to quit. I mean, I don't see them removing it. I reckon I could see them probably lowering how much it costs because right now it's absolutely outrageous, especially when I don't get the choice. So I have to pay $56. There's no $0 option.
What did you think the $0 option was going to be?
I thought if you could split, if it was split into loads of different fulfillment centers, so like 5 or 6, then it would be free. But for my 120 unit shipment that I've done about 3 times, each time it goes to 2 different prep centers and it's $56 and I have no option.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And imagine people who are sending in thousands and thousands of units. It's a massive increase on
yeah.
Yeah.
And they reduced the fees for selling slightly, but it's not even like close to how much you're paying per unit for the shipment. So yeah, like Ben said, 4 to 6 months is usually how long it takes. We've got to keep our fingers crossed. 6 months it doesn't come to the UK.
Well, they don't have to pay VAT, so maybe.
Yeah, true. That it's a fee that like in our business like we can take for US, but it definitely does hurt our bottom line, and it's a fee that we weren't used to paying. But I think, as Ben said in previous episodes, it's just going to get passed on to the consumer at the end of the day.
Yeah, it always does.
What tends to happen.
And I think that's why, because I've seen a few articles, like mainstream articles go around of it now, of them being like, this is like outrageous, because people are knowing that the only person that loses out here is the consumer.
Yeah.
So it just rises costs even more and more. Like everyone else doesn't, like sellers, we don't care. You might have like a couple of months where, you don't make as much money, but over time you just raise your prices.
So on to happier topics around Amazon. So it's of course spring deals. So yeah, I've come home just in time for that. So Harry, this is kind of your bread and butter, isn't it? Because you do predominantly Amazon to Amazon. So yeah, how much have you been? Is your Amex on fire this week?
Yeah, I feel like it's fish and rice cakes for the rest of the for the month until
water and ice cubes.
Yeah,
that's Gage's usual diet.
Yeah, I've spent quite a lot of money. I stayed up. I always usually tend to stay up the first 2 or 3 hours when it starts because everything gets released at midnight, and then just get through as much as possible, and then pick up any loose bits in the day after, because then you can just spend. Because no new deals come out once the first day of deals come. That's it. No new deals get released like the day or 2 after. So you may as well just smash it out all in one day and then just kind of take the next day to like kind of chill out. But yeah, ended up spending like 25 to 30 grand on deals. So
wow.
Yeah, it's been a tiring week.
April's going to be a good month then.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. Otherwise, I might be filing for bankruptcy. Did you get involved in spring deals much, Gage?
I got about 4,000 or 5,000, so not that much. I was far more cautious this time because of the way the last Prime Day and Black Friday went. Is a lot of the deals were really good. They just got swamped with sellers, so you had to wait 2 or 3 months to kind of sell through. And I was a little bit concerned that there were going to be too many people on the listings and maybe not enough sale velocity. But I mean, they'll do well in 2 to 3 months, even if that happens. But yeah, I was just a little bit concerned about that. So I just picked the really, really good ones to go with and stayed away from anything that was just like very good. I just got really, really good ones, at least what I thought they were. Yeah,
it's not a bad strategy to have because I always say it to people: if people want to turn their inventory over like as quick as possible, like skewing more towards A2A probably isn't the right thing to do. Obviously, it's still a viable strategy if you go quite wide. You know, you only buy like a couple things of loads of things that can help boost your spend. But if you've got an abundance of capital, say A2A is quite a good. And you're not like rushing, like you don't have credit cards to pay off, or you're not relying it for a salary or whatever. It's quite a good method because you can wait 3 or 4 months and you can be selling it for a great price as well. So it's a really good point. It's like, you can get these deals, but it might take 4 months to actually reach the price you want to sell it for.
But or they might do really well straight away. That's the kind of gamble with the A2As.
Yeah, but having capital just gives you that option because if you do need to get the capital out to spend on more stock, you sometimes, you can see that in a month's time this is going to be good, but actually my hands are tied because I can't buy any more stock now because I've bought some big some laptop or something on Amazon because some of them can be like, buy for 700 quid, sell for 1,200 sort of thing. But and they're really nice when they come off. But if you need that 700 quid out, sometimes you just have to liquidate. What's the biggest? Have you ever bought? Have you ever sold anything on Amazon that was cost price above £1,000?
Cost price above £1,000. I think some Razer laptops.
Yeah, I sold a few drones. I bought them for like
drones.
Yeah, they got reduced from £3,000 down to 1.5.
Wow.
I think I got like 2 or 3, but that was crazy. It was like £800 profit on each one, which was
any
sick.
returns? Because that's
I was sweating for a month. Yeah, a return on that would not have been nice.
I just keep it right off on the business, allegedly.
But with the drone as well, some idiot's gonna like accidentally fly into a river or something and then say it never turned up.
And then you'll look on the order, just be gauge. Water damage, sorry. I was telling my mentor clients actually that because some of them they don't want to do A2As or they're not ready yet or whatever. I think arbitrage like OA is really good when there's these special like A2A deals on.
Yeah.
Because everyone spends all their money on the A2A deals and then all of these OA ones are kind of untouched.
Yeah.
So this like week or 2 weeks past the spring A2A deals, it's like the best time to do OA.
That's a really good shout.
Really, really, really true.
Zig when everyone else is zagging.
Yeah. But ideally, you do both. You do some A2As and you do some OA, and it all works out.
Yeah, many ways to skin a cat.
Yes,
indeed.
Yes.
Cool. So it's been my turn to go viral this week. So the Tesco. Me basically getting stitched up by you guys. Thanks again. Is doing very well. Should we have a look at some comments?
Yes.
I haven't actually looked at these yet. So
I actually haven't looked at them either.
Because it's been. I think it's up. It's approaching 1 million views on TikTok. You'll have to excuse me. A boomer moment.
How many on Instagram?
Instagram. Let's have a look. So Instagram is where it kicked off more quickly. So it has got 582,000 views on Instagram, and then if we go to TikTok, 820,000.
Wow, that's crazy.
So this is I'm literally opening these live. This is going to be interesting if I can figure out how to get the comments up. So 245 comments. Let's have a look. People don't understand the video and are asking for the code. Brilliant. Someone share the code.
Someone share the code.
Lots of people who have stitched up their mates doing this as well. Thankfully, in Asda, if a certain shop doesn't actually stock an item, the till won't recognise the barcode. Thanks for that. It doesn't get old for us colleagues in Tesco who get at least 3 of these a day.
How come Ben gets the nice people and I get all the mean people?
Well, this one was basically just me looking like a twat, and like so. I think with this one, like the victim is me, whereas with you, the victim is the poor.
I was expecting the Tesco Workers Union to come after you there.
I was off the week this went viral. Wish I was in so I could witness it. It's quite wholesome comments actually. I'm not. Oh God, I found your alt account, Gage. The funniest thing I do is go to the fruit scales and print off a sticker for 99 lemons, and I tear the barcode off, then stick it to a random item and put it back on the shelf.
Oh wow, that's a fun one. I'll try that.
Is that your friend?
I'm pretty sure if you go down far enough, you get the
nasty ones.
Yeah, the hidden comments. View folded comments. Oh wow, folded comments are similar to others flagged by our community and may affect your well-being. These are the ones we want to see. Let's have a look.
I bet it's just going to be like, join my crypto group.
By Harry FBA.
Approve or delete filtered comments. It's mainly people just promoting scams and stuff.
Yeah, there we are.
There we go.
Speaking of scams, have you guys seen how many people have been getting really rich off these Sol altcoins?
Oh yeah, crypto's booming, isn't
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw one guy, I think he put like $80 into a coin that I would get cancelled if I said the name, but it's like Nicolas Cage, just racist. And it went up to 287,000.
Bloody hell.
287.
I have seen some, I don't even know, obviously I know absolutely nothing about crypto, but I've seen some crazy things on Twitter. Like people who just like put in like, obviously still a lot of money, like a couple of thousand. It's gone to hundreds of thousands of millions.
Yeah. There's this one guy who I've been following, and he has the black portfolio. So it's all his coins are everything with the N word in them. Every single thing, and he put like $100 in each, and it's worth like $500,000. It makes no sense, and I'm happy for the people that that invested. Like, I cannot believe it. But it's just so cool that like I feel like money's not real, right? If you put 100 and it turns into 287,000 on Nicolas Cage, then like something isn't right with the world. But I'm so here for it.
Yeah. It's just like, how do you even explain that? You come downstairs from like your mum and dad, you're just like, I've been playing on my laptop, just made 200 grand.
And then there was this one guy who's like, the trend has been, you post your Twitter account and you post your Sol wallet address, it's the crypto coin, and people send you their coins, and then you give them like pre-sale to the coin you're going to make, like Joe Biden or something coin. And the guy got over $1 million in pre-sale sent to him, and then he accidentally burnt all the coins instead of rolling them over into his coin.
No.
Yeah. And like you might think, oh, maybe he was exit scamming. No, like it's on the chain. Like he burned all of this.
So he literally like misclicked. Yeah. Instead of cash out $1 million, it's like set fire to it.
Yeah. He burnt it, and then all the people that like invested, that's loose, invested in this guy. They lost out on everything.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, but
crazy.
Back in like 2-3 years ago when there was the last big sort of crypto boom, I stuck. I think it was almost $1,000 into some shitcoin, and it ended up being a rug pull, and that just put me off. But I might have to diversify a bit. But yeah, well, as soon as I start investing in crypto, that is definitely a top signal. So make sure you cash out of sell your Bitcoin if I get involved.
My brother was telling me someone he worked with at the bank, he put like £2,000 into the Shiba Inu coin before it went big.
No way, because that's the one that like Elon Musk pumped, wasn't it?
And then he cashed out like 8 million and just quit his job that day.
Oh my god.
He just left.
That's unbelievable.
Jesus.
And it's just someone like he actually worked with.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Because of course you've got all these kids who like put $100 in, it turns into whatever, but they don't actually cash it out, and then they wait until it just hits, and like people thinking that this Shiba Inu thing is actually going to be a real currency, and it's like, yeah, you only actually make the money if you cash out. But isn't like the whole point of, I'm probably going to get obliterated by crypto Twitter or whatever, but the whole point of crypto is that like fiat money isn't real, like normal, like so why would you cash out? Let's just hang on to Bitcoin.
One Nicolas Cage coin is always equal to one Nicolas Cage coin. No matter how much it goes up.
I mean, so have a frog JPEGs back on the market?
Oh no, that those haven't picked up the NFTs. My friend bought one for about $400, and he got offered like I think 120,000 for the frog JPEG. I think it was like 40 ETH, so probably like 120k at the time. And the cool thing about his one is his frog looked like a dog.
Is that cool?
Apparently so. That's why it was worth so much.
Please tell me he took the...
No, he didn't take the offer.
And what's it worth now?
Probably as much as he paid for it, about $400. if someone would pay for that.
You'd be sick, wouldn't you?
There was a thing on Twitter that cracked me up when I think it was when you could, if you owned an NFT, you could use it as your profile picture or something, and it came up a different shape. And there's people saying, "Oh yeah, only I own this," and then people would just screenshot it and reply with it, and it's just so funny.
Yeah, that was a weird trend. I mean, he always would convince me, well, at least try and convince me that like this was the future. And the way to kind of explain it is, I was big into playing Counter-Strike at the time. And in Counter-Strike, there's skins, right? And those skins are actually worth real-world money. You can sell it for real-world money. So he's like, the NFT is just a skin, right? And eventually you'll be able to like use it and play with it and stuff. But no, I never bought into it. But yeah, well, if I did, if I would have sold at the top, that would have been really good, right? But I think a lot of people didn't.
But the funny thing is, it shows the kind of the hive mentality of most people, because because now there's a crypto boom, everyone wants to buy it, but the price of everything is really high. Whereas like Bitcoin is a perfect example of this. Like when Bitcoin tanked to like below 20,000, everyone was like, "Oh, I'm not going to buy it." But now it's above 60 grand or whatever. Suddenly it's in BBC News and stuff, and everyone wants to go in and buy it. So it's just, but obviously, that's what you mentioned about the OA versus A to A thing. You want to do the opposite of what other people do. Most people literally sell low and buy high, which is the opposite of what you want to do. Like you want to be like there's a phrase, it's something like you want to be aggressive when the market is fearful, and fearful when the market is aggressive, or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's difficult to.
I think it's all built, at least the like the meme coins, they're all built on the greater fool theory, is that someone is always willing to buy it at a slightly higher price than you are, because no one actually like with Bitcoin and Ethereum and the main ones, people do actually have a belief that will be our currency at some point, right? But no one believes Joe Biden coin is going to be used as a currency, and then there's never going to be any use for it ever, full stop, right?
What, for the coin or for Joe Biden?
I think both, for Sleepy Joe. And people just buy it in hopes that there's someone who's stupider than them that will buy it at a higher price until eventually it runs out and there's not enough stupid people, and then it stops.
Yeah, because I heard stories with the NFTs, well, allegedly, on Twitter, where people were like, they would basically, what they'd do is create like these JPEGs, and then they'll get someone to buy it, and then someone else buy it, and then they'll buy it higher, and then they'll list it for like something extreme. Someone will come in and buy it and be like, oh.
Oh, yeah, the interest. Yeah, selling it to their same accounts.
That's kind of like one of those car insurance scams where you make someone crash into you, and it's like, oh, this person's watching who's actually your friend. So it's like, get your mate to buy something that you paid $4 for like 400, and then it's like, oh wow, they've paid 400 for it. It must be worth at least a grand then. So and then you jump in.
And they've just created it on like their MacBook.
Yeah. It's crazy. XRP was meant to be one that was really good. I don't know what that's up to.
I think it went up a lot
Not a clue.
because they got like indicted or something by the SEC in America, and then the price went down, and then I think they actually, like, the SEC dropped the charges or whatever, and then it went really high. So yeah, I think if you bought it like 5 years ago, you did very well. But not a crypto expert. Maybe I'm chatting shit. I think I'm right though.
Yeah, fair play. But yeah, I might actually start looking into crypto. So yeah, definitely time
Get
to
out
sell.
now.
Time to sell.
Top signal.
I always keep like a couple £100 just to see what happens. I think I had 190 like a couple of weeks ago. Now I've got 250. Just feels nice.
But I think if you are getting into it, I would say you're better off aping into a shitcoin instead of thinking like, because Bitcoin isn't going to 100x from here. Obviously, not financial advice, but yeah, you might stick £100 into something that goes crazy, like your examples. So.
I like it if I ever want to do any crypto casino gambling. Then I always just have a little bit on hand, and then let's say the reason I had 190 is I think I had 210 before, and I put 20 quid in crypto casino, lost it all, but then kind of gained it all back. If you think about it, on the exchange going up. Yeah.
There you go.
Gamble, kids. It's the right thing to do. So I was in Bristol last weekend for the first time ever.
What were you doing in Bristol?
Went to a rave. It was fun.
Did anyone recognise you?
No, I'm waiting for the day. I will be so incredibly embarrassed. But someone's actually recognised you before when you've gone out, right? At the darts.
Oh yes, yeah. But I think that was only because I was wearing my ATA hat, which kind of gave it away. It's like, please approach me. But yeah, yeah, and someone at football recognised me actually, who I'd been playing with, and he was like, "Are you the arbitrage king?"
No way.
And I was like,
Did he say, Your Highness? Are you?
yeah. Now bow to me.
It's like when you're with friends and it's like, Ben, what are you getting up to in your spare time?
Yeah, then so someone a few weeks ago actually came up to me and was like, "Oh, Ben, I got caught in a rabbit hole of your TikToks the other day and I went through them all or something." I was like, "Oh, commiserations."
Yeah. I will be very embarrassed the day that it happens. I hope maybe it doesn't. Although I think my ego wants it to happen one time. For like one time, then I can tell like people I know, I got recognised.
Your future grandkids will be proud of you.
Yeah. Oh, little Jimmy. That one time I was recognised because I went to McDonald's a few too many times. No one recognised me. Bristol's a cool place. So everyone's a hipster.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone's a hipster, and you pay lots for a sandwich and coffee. So that was my takeaways from the place.
Who were like the people performing, or is it just like?
It was a house rave, which I've never been to a house rave before.
Oh.
I got convinced because one of my other friends dropped out last minute, and they were like, "Oh, do you want to just come?" So I came. It was Chris Stussy, if you know who that is. I didn't either. So there we are.
You do now.
Yeah, I did, and it all sounded the
Was
same.
it good?
I had a fun time, but it all sounded the same. The music wasn't great, but.
Guess how much a can of beer was at the ice hockey, because they only sold cans.
$24.
Fuck off! No way, it's $24.
Oh, you say that. Well, I'll tell the story.
$8
after.
or $9.
It was in between. It was 15.
Okay,
My
that's steer, though.
My friend went to Miami the other week on a work trip, and they expensed the whole trip. But they said, when we're in Miami and you're going out, you have to fund that yourself. Guess how much it cost for 4 shots in a club?
Oh, alcohol's so expensive.
I'm going to go for around $100.
I'm going to go 70.
Well, yeah, roughly in between $80.
80.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's without service as well.
Oh yeah, because you have to tip as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so disgusting in America. How was tipping for you?
Yeah, I'm quite a generous tipper anyway, even in the UK. I think if you, but I think you should earn a good tip. I don't think it should be expected. Like if someone goes above and beyond, I'll. Yeah, like I don't know if I've got a Deliveroo or something and like the driver's nice or delivers it really quickly. Like if it's a 15 quid order, I'll like add on a £5, which percentage wise is quite a lot. And like or if I go out for a meal, like I had someone, I think it was I think the bill came to about 150 quid and I just made it 200 and walked out, and the guy chased me down the road saying, "Oh, you've left too much." I was like, "No, it's a tip." And it's like. Like really, it's nice people being grateful for it, but when they've sort of earned it, but people thinking like they deserve a tip just for getting your like getting your McDonald's burger from behind them or something and giving it to you. It's like, I think that's a bit rich.
I even saw this video on Twitter, and they were a self-service grocery store. So it was like a corner shop. They got their water, scanned it themselves, and it asked for a tip.
Really?
It's like, how much gratuity do you want to pay? They
That's-
grabbed the water and scanned it
Oh my god.
themselves.
I saw a video like quite a while ago. You know, like in America they do Uber Eats, like grocery deliveries.
Yeah.
Someone was like unloading like maybe like 10 bags of groceries, and they refused to give him a tip. So he started packing it back into the.
Yeah.
Imagine if that happened in the UK. It just wouldn't happen.
Well, what they've started doing though is like most of the time you go out for a meal, sometimes they'll say, "Oh, and we've just added on 10% for service," which I think's a bit.
I don't really like paying the 10% because it's like the ones that add 10%, it's the company will take a cut of that. I like rather giving the cash to the people that, you know, are working, because they're the ones, you know, they're still going to be near to minimum wage. Like that, if they get a tip for, you know, they're doing like 3 tables an hour and everyone's giving them 10%, that adds up quite a lot over their shift. But then like, I remember like Zaza's, out of the 10%, they take the majority of the tip. Like, that's just so wrong. They should be giving that to their staff.
Yeah, I was tipping this Japanese, like my favorite Japanese restaurant every time I went with cards, assuming that the staff were going to get it. And then like on my 100th time going, the waitress was like, "Oh, you know, you don't get the tip. It just goes to the owner." I'm like, "What? Like, no one's told me this." I've been tipping 100 fucking times. None of you, like, I wouldn't have tipped with a card if I knew you guys weren't going to get it.
Much better doing cash if you can.
Yeah.
So I was on the way. I went to Hawksmoor in London a few weeks ago.
Oh,
If you want an amazing steak, that's the place to go. And just got an Uber back because I couldn't be asked with the train. But the guy in the Uber, he was like, "Oh, do you want to smoke?" And I was like, "Sorry, what?" And he was like, "Yeah, feel free to smoke. I'm going to have one." And he had some ridiculous like aircon system in his car, and so yeah, he was in the front smoking, and he was like, "Because yeah, I saw you having a fag before you got in. If you want to smoke, feel free." And I was like,
No way.
so I was just like sat in the back of a car in the UK, just having a fag.
That
and
is
I was like, "What the hell?"
crazy.
So yeah, I gave him like 20 quid in cash as a tip when we got there, because obviously through the app, Uber probably take half of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty weird.
I find that anywhere that adds the gratuity on the bill, like I feel like I never have good service when it's already added.
Yeah.
So I don't like that. I have too much social anxiety to ever ask for it off. So I always have to pay it, obviously.
same.
But I'm always pissed off seeing it because I never get good service from these places. Like the best service you ever get is from places that don't have it already added.
But I think the main difference between, so I made sure in America, if in doubt, I would tip anyway. Like if I got a drink from a bar, I'd always leave like 15-20% at least, because I think the main difference between the USA and the UK is that in the USA they don't really have a strict minimum wage law. So waiting staff literally get paid fuck all. It's like $1 or $2 an hour, and the tip is actually their main the main salary. So yeah, I think that's the main difference.
What would piss me off though, and I've seen like Twitter videos of this, is if I ordered a beer and it was like just from the fridge, it was just like a bottle of beer, and then they're like, "Oh, you should tip $1 for the beer." That would annoy me because I'm literally taking like 15 seconds from you. And then like getting a drink from Starbucks, like, I don't want to tip when I go to Starbucks.
No.
But then that's like a usual thing. Yeah, it's like, I don't mind tipping like when I go out to eat, but like if I'm getting a one beer or I'm getting a Starbucks, like I don't want to tip.
Yeah, we need to be careful. I went to a place where it was like a sort of a fast food place. So you pay up front, and it's like, "Oh, do you want a tip?" And I was like, "Oh, fuck, I want to make sure I tip, because otherwise they're going to spit in my food or something if I put no tip."
And also, I only want to tip after.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, because if it's good, then I might want to tip. I don't want to tip before. Like, I don't want to tip and then realize my burger's shit.
So you'd to take the food away, eat the burger, and then go back just to give them like a $3 tip.
Well, maybe I'd add it on next time if it was so good.
Gage doesn't pay for his burgers.
We've established that already.
Can we cut that narrative?
So, I mean, we're going to have to find a way to get you viral next, Harry. We need to complete the hat trick.
Yeah. well, we'll find something out. If I know that I'm getting dragged to say Sainsbury's, I know something's going down.
Yeah, let's go to this place and mic you up. We're definitely not
I've
stitching
heard
you
about
up.
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just seeing what Ben likes for his meal deal.
Oh, I can't believe. I still can't believe I was so gullible enough to fall for that. Like, I take the piss out of people falling for like telephone scams and even in that episode we talked about the Nigerian princess. Like, who would fall for that? Oh, free meal from Tesco. Yeah, that's good.
That was a good one.
It was the look on your face when I said rabbit food as well. It's like, you don't have a rabbit.
I don't think I was listening to you. I was just like yeah.
When I heard that from Harry, I thought, you fucking dickhead. You're spoiling it right now.
Yeah.
But no, Ben didn't catch on, thankfully.
Yeah. Oh.
I reckon Harry can go viral for beating someone up.
Yeah, we could do that. I'd get mic'd up.
Yeah.
Just hear cries for help.
Yeah. Well, who have you been annoying on Twitter this week that we can get in?
I don't think not since that. I don't really usually
You've
engage
been a
in
good
it.
boy, I think.
Yeah, I don't usually engage in the idiots on Twitter. I just that one person wound me up though. He got to me through my thick skin.
There's one guy, new account, who keeps commenting under every post that Felix makes. And he posted.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, I think you may have commented under it.
Oh
or
yeah, I
something.
say that actually. I did reply to it.
Harry got in some beef, and Felix had 28% ROI over was it like 200,000 sales or something, or way more than that?
So it's lifetime sales.
Yeah.
He's made 180 grand over 7-figure revenue since December 2022. And someone's replied going, yeah, but your ROI is shit.
His ROI is
brilliant,
28%.
But he's made 180 grand, but your return on investment's awful.
And the guy's like brand new account, no followers, and you just think like,
I wonder whose burner account that might be.
yeah, it's like, are you really that sad that you like made another account just to comment under Felix's post? It's just so like,
it's probably
makes me feel
someone we
sick.
know of.
Oh yeah, for sure. It just it's like, why are you that sad?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I just find it funny. It's like, in what world in 15 months of sales is 180 grand profit shit?
And then Felix tweeted something else about like the Spring Prime deals, and then he just commented, how does tweeting this help your business? And I'm just like, it's fucking Twitter, dude. Just tweet whatever comes to your mind. Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Or it's now X, formerly known as Twitter.
Yes. Thanks, Elon. Have you seen the new Cybertruck?
No.
Well,
I did see Aiden Ross, he bought it and it literally just shot a gun at it and just showing it's indestructible. Like, that is literally the definition of too much money for your own good.
So if you placed a pre-order for your Cybertruck, I don't know, like 2 or 3 years ago, and you got it already, I think the retail's $200,000, but they've been reselling for $400,000 to $500,000.
Wow.
Well, the return on investment's not worth it for that,
Yeah, it's not good enough ROI.
It's more than 28%.
Yeah. So yeah, there's been a few people selling them, and there's like these big guys on Twitter that were telling people like 2 years ago, place your pre-order because I'm sure these will resell, and people are like, no, they won't. It's like it's a fucking car. But no, and like people are offering to buy like if you've got a pre-order that's about to get built, they'll buy it for $300,000 from you.
That was such an opportunity because you don't actually have to pay the full figure up front.
It was $500 to
Was it?
pre-order. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think.
Would you take it? Or like if you were like a massive Elon Musk fan and you love Teslas or whatever?
I can't see anyone kind of using that unless you're like a celebrity that needs it to be bulletproof, and also like pickup trucks aren't popular in the UK.
No.
You live in America or like South Africa, everyone's got a fucking pickup truck. But here, no one owns a pickup truck, and essentially it's an electric pickup truck, isn't it?
That is very true. They've got loads. I'm sure you must have seen that when you went to Florida. Like 1 in every 2 cars is a pickup truck.
Oh yeah, and like, but we had hire cars, and the car that I was in was described as medium, and it was like it's fucking huge.
yeah.
It's
like a bus.
Yeah. Crazy. Right. Anything else you want to go through, chaps?
I think that's good.
No.
Should we wrap it up there then?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah. Welcome back. We hadn't forgotten about you. We were just I was busy sunning myself, and hope you enjoyed this episode. So yeah, drop us a like if you've enjoyed it, and catch you again next week for the next episode of All Things the Podcast.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.
Bye now.